A very good evening. It is the 22nd of January 2022. Welcome to UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Mugalu Mohammed on Sign Language. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day in the headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In UBC News Tonight, oil flows into Uganda after truck drivers' grievances are addressed. Parliamentary Committee on Trade towards ginger oil reserves. And still to come, Minister Miyingo advises the youth to be innovative. In our sports news, Uganda's Crested Cranes lose to Ghana in World Cup Qualifier League.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
You're watching UBC News Tonight. In our top story is the acting regional manager, Uganda Revenue Authority, Eastern Region. Alfred Adriko says that Uganda now has sufficient fuel supply. Adriko says that by January 19, 2022, the country had received 2,452 trucks, with each carrying an average of 35,000 litres, that is 85 million litres, of which Ugandans consume an average of 6 million litres per day. We have details on this beautiful story.
Prime Minister Robin Nabanja says government is to investigate the reasons behind the hiking of fuel prices by the energy companies, yet the supply is above normal average. Nabanja says Uganda and Kenya have agreed to have transport ministers camp at the border to ensure that the impasse on long truck queues is addressed. Nabanja says Uganda and Kenya have agreed to have transport ministers camp at the border to ensure that the impasse on long truck queues is addressed.
If we have genuine traders, but these are the traders who are hiding the fuel for us to go in a crisis. You understand what I'm talking about? Yes. And therefore those ones must be checked. What I want you to do is now to add the stuff. Such that they can quickly verify you through the document and also physical.
She says that the way bridge at Malaba should be temporarily suspended to allow the flow of trucks at the border. She directed that the way bridges in Malaba and Magamaga in Jinja should be the ones to be used.
All the groups such that we can flee, so that vehicles can move. I have seen it by myself that vehicles were not moving because of way bridge. And therefore, with powers entrusted in me, I am stopping the way bridge of Malaba from weighing and doing that work until after we are through this predicament.
However, some officials attribute the delay to the few hours of work by a private company contracted to carry out fuel inspection at the border. They also say that Uganda National Bureau of Standards needs to increase staff at the borders to fast-track clearance.
It's like these people in Kampala who are supposed to make decisions for them to relax on some things to clear this jam. Because you find customs can clear cargo to go, but they cannot move because UNPS has not untagged it.
The meeting resolved to have regional fuel reserves in the country to ensure that any future fuel crisis is averted. The Malaba meeting was convened by the Prime Minister on the directive of the President to ensure that the issues at the border are sorted immediately.
Well, great news for Ugandans, because then we won't struggle with finding fuel at different stations. Now, members of Parliament on Trade, Industry and Tourism Committee are demanding a law on consumer protection. This follows the mid-January fuel prices crisis following everyday clearance of Uganda-bound transit trucks ferrying petroleum into Uganda. We have details on this story.
The Parliamentary Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism says the current fuel crisis impasse could have been avoided if there are functional fuel reserves in the country. This was after touring Uganda's main fuel reserves in Jinja. The committee, chaired by Mbarara CT Member of Parliament Mwene Mpaka, toured the facility this week.
Yes, much as the COVID testing at the border could have caused a delay in fuel, there are also factors. There are companies that were holding fuel in Kenya, and this was intentional because we're expecting fuel between 25th of December and 15th of January.
But there has been a problem since June, and therefore the solution to this, from what we realize, is one, that we need government reserves.
Right now we are in Jinja to look at the reserves, and we have established that there is no fuel completely. And moving around, we cannot even see wagons or trucks bringing fuel here.
Uganda National Oil Company Management briefed the MPs on the Finance Committee about the shortage of fuel at Uganda's fuel reserves in Jinja.
You see, the other is the loading arm. Which one? It covers fuel. On top.
The good news, however, is that a number of fuel tankers have already been cleared and are distributing fuel across the country to avert the crisis.
And we are going to see a change from 800 trucks a day to between 1,000 and 500 trucks, and give us between 4 and 6 days. We will clear the 3,250 trucks backlog, which is at the border.
A number of fuel stations had hiked fuel prices, with some selling petrol at about 12,000 shillings per litre and diesel costing about 8,000 per litre by mid of this week.
In more news, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces has commissioned a helicopter maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO plant at Nakasongola Air Force Base. Now the facility, the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa, is a joint venture by the UPDF's commercial arm and the National Enterprise Corporation NEC and ProHeli International, a Russian company.
President Yoweri Museveni has hailed the Ministry of Defense for the initiative, which is an example of vertical integration of the economy, which he promised in the NRM's 10-point program. He says the program was also aimed at building an independent, integrated and self-sustaining national economy, which the president said is being fulfilled, although some people didn't get it. To the president, the commissioning of the plant is among the modest steps taken to solve what he termed as irrationality, which is very costly. You're talking of saving money. You're using imported helicopters, which you do not take or even maintain and repair, he said. The helicopter maintenance, repair and overhaul MRO plant will help Uganda save about $3.5 million that have been spent on transportation and overhauling one helicopter outside Uganda. According to the Commander UPDF Air Force, Lieutenant General Charles Lutaya, aircraft maintenance is generally expensive, but with the commissioning of the MRO facility, there will be a timely repair of components and reduced wastage to enhance Air Force combat readiness and employment capabilities. To the Chief of Defense Forces, General Wilson Basu Mbadi, the facility, the first of its kind in the region, will bring in more revenue into the economy as aircrafts from the region will be serviced here. The function was attended by the Minister of State for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Huda Abasono Leru, and senior UPDF officers. Wadulo Makanold, UBC News.
The operation Keep Kampala Smart has this Friday seen a section of business kiosks around the new taxi park dismantled by KCC enforcement team, and this part of the enforcement targeting street vendors in downtown Kampala, which was kick-started at the beginning of this week and on orders of the City Commissioner Hood Hussein has been ongoing. Details follow.
Initially, it was an operation that targeted street vendors. However, enforcing adherence to physical planning for small-scale businesses such as kiosks has also been brought on board. The operation to tame down these mobile money and phone kiosks entrepreneurs was commanded by Head of Physical Planning at KCCA, Vile Agaba.
So, we are supposed to have an infrastructure called a sewer line, that is supposed to be enlarged or widened from this point up to here. But because these structures were sitting on top of a sewer line, could not do it.
However, Kampala Central Mayor Salim Uhuru is not yet convinced with the manner in which such operations are being conducted.
It is our mandate okutereza Kampala. That's our mandate as the Mayor of Kampala Central and our councillors. It is our duty to see we have a beautiful, livable, sustaining city.
He acknowledges the need to bring all concerned stakeholders on board, saying that force cannot give a permanent solution to the Kampala trade order mess.
But we are not planning for animals. To planning ira bantu. Chechikulu atene bantu balina kubeera part of that nkulakulana. The chenjagala is tukanye tutambule tulabe kakati alternative gitwasazeewo yabatembei tugenda bawa nguudo.
We are suggesting roads like Ben Chwanuka. Automatically Ben Chwanuka, Rumu Street, Shauriako Road, they must be part of those of that planning they are doing.
Apart from vendors and kiosk operators, government last night issued a 6-month grace period to border operators in Kampala Metropolitan.
Every effort is being done by government, directed by cabinet, particularly the sectors of transport and the Ministry for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, to make sure that we bring sanity to the city, and that sanity has to be brought with a human face.
Banji, that's a fact. Stages ezimu ziri illegal, which is true. Naye kati problem gye twafunye is emirimu gino tufunyemu ababbi abajingiddemu. Kati okubeera safe boda benyini balina okutereeza emirimu egyo.
According to Asaf Nuhurira, the chairperson Kampala Street Vendors, they are going to petition Parliament come next week.
We are bringing our proposal to the Parliament. After we have noticed that the KCCA cannot do the needful, we need the intervention of the Parliament so that the vendors can be recognized at the job.
This is Namirembe Road, one of the almost ever busiest streets here in downtown Kampala. For those who would have passed here during the normal days, you will bear with me witness that it has always been a very busy place where congestion has always been the order of the day. But you must admit that due to the enforcements and regulations coming in by KCCA and government at large, the situation seems to be shifting, and we might even conclusively say, for a smart city, we must accept such arrangements. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Robert Onyango, and it was told to us that KCCA will do that in the 5 divisions of Kampala City. Moving on from that, the increasing levels of unemployment among youths in Uganda is because most of them, even after completing school, their instincts tell them that it is only in urban centers where jobs are good and there is good pay. Now, this has been refuted by scholars, including the Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, who believes that all opportunities are in villages, provided one is very creative.
Research done by Uganda Bureau of Statistics in 2018 indicates that youth unemployment in Uganda is between 64 to 70%. This is a big percentage if the country is to excel in future, according to analysts and observers. The Minister for Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, believes that youth need a mindset change in their approach to employment.
Do not shun work, help country. Of course, you are aware that 80% of Ugandan population lives in the rural areas and they are in great need of your services. Please go out there and bring services closer to your people because you have been equipped with the necessary skills.
Officiating the 11th graduation ceremony of Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, Muyingo advised the graduates that in order to compete favorably, they have to be creative in whatever they do.
Nurses who are going to be very innovative, nurses who are going to be very creative, whatever the circumstances. They should be capable of being self-employed. This is what I expect, as well as competing favorably at national level, regional and international job markets.
The principal, Mulago School of Nursing and Midwifery, Nampima Eve Kakonge, narrated how the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted their performance.
We are very much assured that Today, we've added the force to our healthcare profession. Our lovely guest of honor, you are very much familiar with this institution, and because of that, I will not go into the background of this institution.
Ekirwadde kino kiruma mawuggwe kyatusanga tetukyetegekedde era bwe bwatuggalawo twalina okukosebwa okusookera ddala mu bigambo by'ensimbi kubanga abaana okuva lwe batuggalawo paaka lwe baggulawo twali tetukyalina ssente zisobola okubeera nga tuddukanya essomero. Ekyo nakyo kyatukubira wala. Ekyokubiri, twali nga tetulina kusomesa kuno okw'omutimbagano, naye mu kiseera ekya COVID ekituleetera okusoomoozebwa n'omukisa omulungi gye twagenda okugenda nga tutambula mu mwaka gumu tugukubye wali, twasobola okubeera nga twekolamu omulimu ng'abaddukanya essomero lino ne tusobola okubeera nga tutendekebwa engeri y'okubeera nti tusobola okusomesa abaana baffe nga tukozesa omutimbagano.
Well, congratulations to all the graduates. Now, the National Resistance Movement is set to mark 36th Liberation Day anniversary on the 26th of January 2022 under the theme, celebrating the 36th NRM Victory Day, a call to duty for all compatriots to continue towards Uganda's socio-economic transformation journey. However, National Resistance Army veterans are appealing to government to prioritize the renovation of the historical monuments housing remains of their fallen colleagues and declare them tourism attraction sites. Now, the former fighters in the 1981 to 1986 protracted war feel the monuments are part and parcel of Uganda's history. There are currently a number of historical monuments in the 8 districts that comprise Luweero Triangle.
It's 36 years anniversary of the NRM government after liberating Uganda on January 26, 1986. The armed Gura Bush War struggle raged on for 5 years between 1981 and 1986 in various areas of Mityana, Luweero, Nakaseke, Kibuga, among others. However, it's also clocking 41 years since the great fighters in the 5 years Bush War struggle of the NRA attacked Kabamba military barracks in Mbende on February 6, 1981. The Liberation War led by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni on February 6, 1981 started with only 27 guns in the greater Luweero-Rwenzori Triangle. As Ugandans celebrate the NRA 36th anniversary on January 26, 2022, it's estimated over 800,000 people died in the NRA liberation struggle between 1981 and 1986 against the tyranny and dictatorial regime of Obote's regular army. At the end of the war, thousands of unidentified human remains were found in the area in forms of skulls and bones. The Luweero skulls and bones in the aftermath of the war to date are used as a contrast between the terror of the previous Obote regime and the ruling NRM government. These monuments on the other side signify pride of ushering in peace and security in the country, consolidating the post-revolutionary state's legitimacy by the ruling NRM.
Those who are alive, let them participate in the 36 years independent celebrations. Let's participate, by the way, because we have spent a lot of years struggling to achieve what we want to achieve. But when we reach that level, let everybody participate. Those who are alive, let them participate in those celebrations.
Following the 1981 to 1986 NRM armed liberation struggle through fieldwork interview, we explore the fate of memorial heritage making and political use of the Luweero skulls and bones in a historical perspective. Whereas the skulls in these mass graves signify political effectiveness and attracting memories of fear. The success of Memorial Heritage Building, to which the Luweero Scouts were subjected, can't be underestimated. However, some of these historic monuments, 36 years down the road, have developed cracks and require renovation.
Challenges cannot get more that they are finished. No, any step there are challenges. After 5 years, there are challenges. The roads, the schools, the hospitals, those are challenges. We have not fulfilled those promises that they made. We want the medicine in the hospital, we want good roads, we want good schools. Those are some challenges, but I'm quite sure that the government is looking on that night, tomorrow morning.
In some areas, the Liberation War was held from 1981 to 1986. Government, when took power, constructed historic monuments in memory of the gallant fighters who lost their lives. Veterans and communities want government to make them tourist attraction sites. The veteran in Nakaseke district, Haji Sula Sarunjoji, however, commended the NRM government for emphasizing the renovation of the historical monument sites. He encouraged for more renovations and make them tourist attraction sites.
When we rehabilitate those monuments, it can bring more money to the ministry. Which I appeal to the government to come down and rehabilitate those monuments.
The mass graves are located at the sub-county headquarters of Kakamulo, Katikamu, Makulubita, Zirobwe, Bamunanika, Kalagala, Nyambwa, Wabusana, Kichusa, Kapeka, Kakandwa, and Wakiato, among others, all in Luweero and Nakaseke districts. The absence of power has exposed the site to theft and has made it hard to maintain. Whereas government is recommended to have delivered on some of its pledges to the war-affected Luweero Triangle, some have not been honored, like in Kichusa sub-county. A promise to extend power to the monument in the area to ensure security and decency of the place hangs in a balance.
Not to be used by politicians that we go for, we fight which may lead to our loss of our lives. So, fellow youth, I plead that you work hard so that we make it up.
Bajja ne bakirambula n'okukirambula bakakasa nti kijjukizo ky'amaanyi. So ng'omuwendo bajjajjaffe bwe baawaayo gusasulwe, tuzimbirwe amasomero amalungi mu kitundu kyaffe, tuzimbirwe amalwaliro amalungi, tuzimbirwe enguudo ennungi.
Ziira kasa pulezidenti waffe yabazimbira ne babeerawo ate kati munaye tubakolere ki? Baafa ne bafa naye kati ffe tuyimiriddewo tutyaffe ng'abalamu.
NRM inside the road. I appreciate the government of NRM for so far what we have done. This place has been peaceful for almost 35 years now. As compared to from 85 downwards to independence, there was a lot of instability. But NRM has brought stability. There's only 1, 2, 3 things missing in NRM. There's a seriously of the cadres on the ground. Seriously of cadres on the ground. Because
however, local leaders and the residents here are demanding that government promotes the sites into tourist attraction and allows the sub-county authorities to levy a small fee from visitors, which can be used for maintenance and renovation of these NRA historical monumental sites. But little from this war has been chronicled to give a proper account of the killings that stretched across Kiboga, Nakaseke, Nakasongola, Mubende, Mityana and Wakiso. What is clear, though, government is delivering on some of its pledges to address the issues of poverty, unemployed youth, and the welfare of the sons and daughters of fighters and heroes whose cows are being eaten away by termites in memorial graves. Report compiled by Salongo Kasibante.
Thank you so much, Salongo Kasivante, for that report on historical monuments and celebrating the Liberation Day. Now we'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with business stories.
Pay school fees conveniently using MTN Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN. Ooh. Bloop. The thing goes. Clink, clink, clink. Woo.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste with no sugar. Now available at a shop near you. Maximum taste, no sugar.
Start the year off with my Airtel 4G smartphone. You get to enjoy free 1 GB data valid for a month and 100% bonus data every month for 3 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. This includes free data spread over 3 months worth 86,500 Uganda shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 Uganda shillings only. Visit the nearest Airtel shop and get one today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Raising Voices.
I feel happy when my father spends time with me. I hope all fathers will like my father. I want my father to reach out to all fathers. He knows how important it is to be a good father. I promise to help my father inspire other fathers to change.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising Voices.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Agriculture remains the backbone of Uganda's economy, with the majority of Ugandans dependent on it for domestic consumption and a source of income. This is the reason why government has always invested resources, including machinery, into the sector. 73 Ugandans have now been equipped with the basic skills of managing the agricultural equipment. The Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Major General Kasula Chomukama David, officiated the pass-out ceremony at Namalere, Wakiso District. He urged the trainees to utilize the skills acquired at the institute to improve the sector.
Doing the course, and congratulations for completing it, for completing the course. It's not very easy. But that's only the first part of your working life. The next part is how do you use the knowledge that you have received? Getting knowledge is okay. Everybody can get knowledge. But how do you use this knowledge? What is the purpose for which you use the knowledge?
General Kasula commissioned the agricultural machinery supplied by government and cautioned the trainees to put the equipment to their right use.
This is your money because you are the taxpayers. This is your taxpayer money, all these machines. And they're very, very critical, as I will tell you, in our work. So please look after these machines as your babies. Look after them. Don't allow them to die. Don't allow them to get spoiled. Don't allow anybody to misuse them.
The Commissioner of Human Resources at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Maka Seremba, said the program will be extended strategically across the country.
First was really to take through them the ethos of the public service so that they are able to understand and know the do's and don'ts of the public service. Most importantly, we've also discussed their contracted terms, what we expect from them and government, and what government will provide at the end of the day.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Pay school fees conveniently using MTN Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. In our sports stories, Uganda's crested team has lost to Ghana by 2-1 in a Women's World Cup 2022 qualifier played at the St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende. Now, goals by Salamatu Abdali and Grace Anima are what the Ghanaians needed to take control of these fixtures, whose second leg is due next month. The winner from this tie plays the winner from the Tanzania versus Ethiopia game, and this fourth round is complete with Morocco against Senegal and Nigeria facing Cameroon. The fifth round winners will earn a place not only in the final but also the World Cup due in Costa Rica this coming August.
Well, score from this well. Oh, dropping ball inside the back of the net. Fine finish was Salamatu Abdullah is the goal scorer. Yes, just number 13. Here we go. She's here. Spoke about her a while ago. Salamatu controlling it well and dropping it past the goalkeeper. Salamatu Abdullah with that goal there that gives the Ghanaians the lead over the Ugandan lane. And they come back because now it is trouble. What a finish. Good curling ball into the back of the net. Very good finish from Grace Amina, footballer who plays for Police Ladies all the way in Ghana. Makes it 2-0. Free kick began. It's a very poor one. Nakachwa does well. Cross as well. Away. Controlled by Shamira. She's down in the box. Penalty. And a yellow given away to Doris Badua. And let's wait and see if she can seal this into the back of the net to bring Uganda back into the game. The remaining 8 minutes will be very, very pivotal for the ladies team. This is Pausiana Jemba. She strikes and scores. It's now 2-1.
Well, that's all we had for you for now. Do join us again at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha with Mugalu Edward with Mugalu on sign language. Have a good night.